All right, we are live. Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Feel free to use that in all your meetings. Thursday. Good morning. The people be like, "Happy Thursday." You're like, what did you just say? Like, it's my friend told me to say it. But it's great to be with y'all this morning. Excited for this episode. And I say excited a lot. I'm an excited individual for the most part, except when you get me first thing in the morning. I'm not super excited. But I would say I'm excited for this episode because Briana's not only a dear friend, but she's an amazing marketer and community builder. And so very, very excited to have her on the show today. So Briana, welcome. Happy to have you.
Thank you very much, you kind gentlemen.
So say hey, would love to hear from you. Again, the reason I do this live every single day, and the reason why I want to consistently stay, okay, sweet. I just want to make sure we're live everywhere because sometimes there's technical difficulties. The reason why I do this live every single day is because I want to make this basically like a little networking event, right? What I realized over the last 6 months is that I think in today's age, if you're not going to a render, if you're not going to a local meetup, you really have no ways to connect with people from your couch, right? And so what I realized about 6 to 9 months ago is like this is a podcast, sure, it's a live show, whatever you want to call it, but at the end of the day, it's still an opportunity for you to network with others. And so I found out over the last 2 or 3 months that 2 people have found jobs because of this show, like indirectly, which is exactly why I want to do it. So please say hey, would love to hear from you. The reason why I tell people to say hey is because we're not in the metaverse yet. We're not with our Apple Vision Pro goggles on yet. That would be pretty sweet though, but we're not there yet. So the only way I know if you're watching is if you comment, right? So please comment, say, hey, other people have found jobs because like they have commented and then other people have networked with them. I want you to network off the back of me, right? So if you show up every single day, almost every single day, and you network with every single person in the comments, you network with every single speaker, DM Briana, she loves DMs, just say hey, right? And then you head on over to Unicorn Finders, where I network with all of my founders. And you've been doing this for 4 years, you would have an incredible network, right? So again, that's why I tell people to comment and say, hey, let's see here. What else? Want to give a shout out to obviously Gun.io, where I work. Listen, if you're looking to hire engineers, I really think our product's pretty cool. We basically take out like all the rigmarole of working with recruiters, and you just like log onto our platform and hire people off our platform. So pretty cool. Also want to give a shout out to Endorsed AI. Endorsed AI is a platform that essentially when you submit to jobs and you're a job seeker, and this kind of ad per se is targeted more towards like recruiters and hiring managers. Typically, when you search through job postings, it's chronological based off the time you submitted. So if you submitted your resume 2 days ago, and the sourcer on the other side searches by first in, you're never going to get seen, or last in, you're never going to get seen, right? So what Endorsed AI does is use AI, it integrates in with your ATS, and then it basically pops out all the people that are most relevant because of AI at the top of your filter, which is huge. So check that out. Also want to give a shout out too, not just because Briana's here, because shout out to RenderATL for the sponsor of the pod. Obviously, love them to death. Briana's here, so obviously it's a little awkward, but hey, shout out Render. Appreciate it.
Always shout out Render. Always,
of course, always.
And
Richie,
I'm loving that shirt. That shirt is
the merch is great. Merch really hit the. I'm a big. I don't think very few people have good conference merch, and this was great. So highly recommend. Richie, it's good to see you. John, it's good to see you this morning. Jawara, did I say that correctly this time? Jawara, there was 3 syllables. I met him at Render for the first time. He's a constant, shows up to the show. So just want to make sure I got his name right. But it's good to see you, my friend. Jordan, it's good to see you as well. And Stacy, it's wonderful to see you. Somebody got their Black Men in Tech or Carrot headshot in. I know what that looks like. I updated mine. Such a great idea by that crew. All right, enough of me running my mouth. Briana, let's give the people what they want and why they're here. Who are you? What do you do? And then we'll go from there.
Well, hi, everybody. I'm Briana Holmes. I'm the marketing director for RenderATL. You might have heard of us. And if you haven't, that means you are in the right place. So I do a lot of different things, and I love simply using marketing to build community, which is exactly why you're here. As a marketer, my favorite thing to do is talk about the brands, of course. So RenderATL is an amazing tech conference that you should totally make sure you're there and get your tickets in advance for 2025. It's going to be amazing. But I also am the co-founder and CEO of the Network of Atlanta, again, a community-based organization. And what I do is take all the things that I've learned along the way and make a community out of it. Literally, without community, your marketing's not going to work. And that's what I try my best to tell people. Alongside Network of Atlanta and RenderATL, I'm also the person behind a few politicians' social media accounts. So it's really fun to build different communities within different cities and different states. And if you are on one of my accounts, you'll know that it's all community focused. I rarely talk about the politician as a person, but it's about what are you doing for the community?
Yeah.
So that's what I do. That's who I am. I'm also a cat mom of two. That's my identity.
We love a good cat mom on the show. I love this. I have so many questions for you, Chris. It's good to see you. I definitely Chihuahua. Yes, nailed it. Heck yeah, love it. Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, I was fumbling. Yeah, Destin's a doozy too. Destin's a doozy too. All right, so I want to start out. Let me ask you this: why do you think community-led organizations in 2024 and beyond is the way to go about building business? I'm interested in your thoughts on this. Again, we're getting nerdy on kind of the marketing side, which I love to show because I can bring on whoever I want, right? so let's kind of nerd out on marketing. Why do you think content or community-led organizations are really the next wave of?
So I think, oh God, this is such a great question. And the truth of the matter is people are over simply a digital persona.
Over it.
We are back into the IRL style of doing things and presenting those IRL in real life experiences in a digital platform that is authentic. It is messy. It is unfiltered. It is not some AI universe that people have. It is authentic and true to that part. Now, the importance of community within those organizations, community-led organizations, literally it shows you exactly what you're getting when you're getting it. So I love thinking about Network of Atlanta in this instance. We started in 2016 with a Instagram account. That's all we had was an Instagram account. I was following people, trying to get them to follow back and saying, hey, I want to have this event because I want to meet people. And clearly I'm very social. And I simply wanted to make friends.
Yeah.
Well, how do you do that? You have an event. With an event, it's sometimes a little risky. It depends on how much you're willing to put into it, both financially and energy wise. But I'm like, you know what? This is the best way to do it. We became a go-to place for people to come for low cost and free events, whether it be social, service, educational, or fitness. People came to us because they wanted to be part of something larger than themselves. We spent plenty of time alone in isolation or with people that we didn't, have an option to leave from for a couple of years. And now that we're able to re-engage that community, that's what people want. I always tell people we were not meant to do any of this alone. We were meant for community. So when you put yourselves in a situation to say, okay, I could be by myself and say, I am the person you need to talk to. Or you can say, hey, these are all the amazing people that make up my community. And these are the type of experiences you'll have. This is the type of product you're going to get. These are the people you're going to engage with. It's so much easier. It's so much more easier to talk to somebody and feel like you can connect with them and take it a step further. That might mean, okay, let's take it a step farther. Let's have coffee. Let's interview for a job. Let's buy a house. Whatever that instance or that the reality
Transaction.
of the transaction, thank you, is people want to feel like they're part of a community. They don't want to feel like they're just watching someone on the screen talk about nonsense anymore.
I think, I'm sure you've probably gotten this too, and me as well. I think a lot of companies right now want revenue now. And again, I mean, I applaud Render from a community aspect, and obviously you've been at the forefront of that. Is like, what would you tell companies that maybe watch this now in the future? They're like, well, we've always wanted to build community, but like we need revenue now.
Well,
what would you say?
That means taking a better look at your products and services. If you're not able to have something that's going to create an instant ROI, something like a subscription method, or maybe it's you're paying for events. So you offer a free and a paid event, something of the sorts. Or maybe you have free 15-minute consultations or however long that consultation might be, and then lead into a pitch sales or something of the sorts. Of course, every company needs revenue now. That's just the reality of it, especially in the economic
Sure.
situation that we are all going through. However, if you don't try to build community while you do it, then you're going to fail. There's no sugarcoating it, you will fail. At the end of the day, when you tell people, "Hey, we wanna build community, but we don't have time for you right now." Why would I work with you?
No.
Why would I be a part of that? I don't want to. But if I can see a leader saying, "Hey, things are a little tough right now, so we're not gonna be able to do this to the extent of what we would like to do, but we still wanna make space and make time for you."
Yeah.
Winner, sign me up.
Yeah.
You can take my money. Even the money I don't have, I'm still giving it to you.
100%. Let me ask you this. I have my marketing brains firing overtime right now. So many questions. When from an organization perspective, we kind of flip the script just quickly, like from a render side of things, like when you guys are looking at getting involved with organizations and whatnot, do you look at, hey, do they have a thriving community? Are they out there? Like, is that something that y'all look at?
Yes, this is a two-part question.
Yep.
So, there's the first of the situation is, yes, we definitely look at the communities and the community partners that we work with, but it goes deeper than that. So, a lot of people are aware, some people aren't, but Render does not only meet at Render. We have tons of opportunities around the country in Chicago and LA and Oakland and Nashville and Dallas and Austin and Houston and DC and New York and Miami. Those are all of our meetup chapters.
Yeah, forget about Miami.
And we have our amazing meetup ambassadors, our Render ambassadors who host free and low cost events. Now, yes, we do have to pay for these, but at the end of the day, it's more important for us to engage people than worry about that bottom line right then and there. The money will come. The money will come if you give to the people. That's how we see it. So when we're thinking about that, we say, okay, to our meetup ambassador or our Render ambassador, hey, what community organizations do you see making an impact in your community?
Huh.
Where are you wanting to put your time and energy and effort? Who do you know? Maybe you haven't engaged with them, but you see them doing the work. You see that they are trying to make an impact. It doesn't have to be some organization that has tens of thousands of followers. Some organizations we work with only have 200 followers on social. I don't care
Yeah.
about social.
It's not about well,
I
and we can talk tactical again. So many different ways to talk about. In my opinion, and not my opinion, this is like proven. TikTok, the way TikTok came out with things, follower count does not matter anymore.
Mm-mm. It does not, because you can have 100,000 followers and literally be getting 5 likes.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can have 100 amazing people who want to be part of your community, and 50% of them want to show up at a larger capacity.
Right.
I don't know about you, but I'd rather go with a smaller number that's going to make more of a difference than what is going to look good. So when we were partnering this year, we had the honor of partnering with over 100 different community partners from across the entire country. My goal was to get everyone, like one from each state, but that did not happen because Alaska was lacking. But
Who's ever looking to get involved with the Alaska tech community, let
anyone
Brianna
knows
know.
Alaskan tech people, please send them my way. But that literally is what we looked at. Like, okay, what are you doing? Great. Some of these organizations I'd never heard of, but once I went onto their website and learned a little bit more about them and saw the work that they were doing, you are building community.
Yeah.
You are fostering an environment where people can grow not only within that community, but in their career and their personal life. Sign me up.
Yeah. Well, I think too, and then my buddy Kent. Yes, finally, I'm glad you got your hockey gear, dude. And we need to get you out and also play some golf, 100%. So I want to talk. I think too. I want to kind of dig on this community thing a little bit, and then I kind of want to pivot a little bit and talk about kind of your background and kind of how you got in the marketing, your career, and whatnot. But when it comes to this like community building from a company perspective, I talk about how people are buying in today's world, right? Because I feel like from a conversion perspective, people no longer are like, I see an ad, I'm going to buy. I mean, sometimes that happens, right? If you're on Instagram going to the bathroom, let's face it, we've all been there, right? But like, can you talk about buying trends that you've seen kind of as it relates to content and commuting, kind of that pipeline?
Honestly, the funniest thing about it is when we have our most authentic content where I'm like, just ship it. I don't care to like, it's fine.
Yes.
I don't care. Just have fun. That does the best conversion.
Why do you think? Why do you think?
Because it reminds people that we're human.
Yep.
At the end of the day, we're all human, and when you're able to laugh at yourself or laugh at something that you've struggled with, or maybe it's something that you're like, "Oh, I don't know the answer to that either." People are being able to relate, and the more you're able to relate to something, the more likely you are to convert from a warm lead or cold lead to or a subscriber to someone who's actually pushing the button and saying, "Yes, this is an investment." So not only are you going to be relatable, but you're showing people, "Hey, there's an investment. Like, yes, we're having fun, we're enjoying ourselves, and we get to be our authentic selves, and that's what you're going to expect, at least on our side." In my other capacities and my other multiple jobs, it's the same thing. When people are able to say, "Hey, this is what it is what it is, and you have to be okay with that or not. Maybe this isn't for you." People are like, "Thank you for that honesty and transparency.
Yeah.
I want to do it." And at the end of the day, it's not just about what you're seeing on social. Yeah, social is great. Like, you can see an ad on social, but like, if you're a marketer or if you're a consumer, are you seeing that in your inbox and your email? Are you seeing that on your Hulu, YouTube, or Netflix ads? Well, I don't think Netflix has ads. Are you
Right.
seeing that on your Twitter timeline?
Yeah.
Like, are you seeing other people who are raving fans talking about what you are interested in?
Mhm.
Because you should be, if the marketing is marketing. Um,
If the
but
marketing is marketing, I love that. You gotta put that on a shirt. I'd buy it.
I might have to. Let me go to
Love it.
custom.com real quick. But literally, if you're being able to relate to somebody, show them that this is an investment and why. Make it so that they see themselves as the consumer
Mm,
and after their purchase, then you're already winning. Because at the end of the day, people don't buy tickets to render because they were there. They are buying tickets because they want to continue to come back and converse. They want to continue to feel that sense of relief and be able to relate to everybody else in the room.
yes.
They come
It's
because
relatability. It's
yeah,
relatability.
and they want to have fun. They want to enjoy themselves and be their authentic selves. So when you're making your content or making your marketing, your all your things, all your content, and you're making your campaigns, you have to think about, like, is this actually relatable to my target demographic? Like, do they
Right.
care about this, or are they saying, "Oh, great, another ad"? No, it needs to be able to relate to them.
100%. I love that. Gerara coming in here, getting face time at Render with devs and recruiters, the single biggest boost to my network since changing careers. I love that. We love to see
Love
that.
that. That's
Um, so let's talk about changing careers, right? I want to talk about you graduated from Auburn,
mhm.
right? So
Where you
fellow SEC friend. Um, so talk about kind of how you got into marketing. Talk about kind of getting out of college and kind of how you felt, and just kind of that process, kind of getting into your career that it is now. Because I'm sure it wasn't linear by any means. And so, one of the things I'm going to start doing, I told you this backstage, and for the folks that are still watching, I'm going to probably pivot this a little bit. Still want to do off the cuff, but have a little bit more structure around how people got involved with careers, and provide, obviously, how to nuggets. But break that down. Got out of college, got out of Auburn. What's next? How did you get into marketing?
Well, actually, it started a little bit before college.
Okay, great.
And this is something that I've told myself that I need to start sharing and talking about a little bit more. So thank you so much for this
Of
little
course,
point.
I do what I can.
So when I was in high school, I was a loser. Simple as put, I was not
For
popular.
real?
Yeah, I had
No way.
glasses and really bad acne, and I had braces, and I wore my hair in a slick back ponytail every day, and I was
You're
flat
just a
as fuck
vibe.
sanely.
How's a
I
vibe?
was
Sure. How's a millennial vibe?
it was not the cutest thing, but I was really, really smart and I was really, really nice. So I spent my entire summer being the nerd that I was, and I went through my yearbook and found every single person in my entire high school who would still be there when we returned, sent them a message on Facebook and said, "Hey, will you please join FBLA when school starts?"
Huh.
If you don't know what FBLA is, it's Future Business Leaders of America. Who would have thought? But I was like, "Hey, like, join this community, join
Yeah.
this organization when you get back to
Yeah.
school." I spent my entire summer combing through my yearbook. My yearbook had like 2,000 people. I went to a big high school. Like, it has like,
That's
you're reaching out
crazy.
to like 1,500 people
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
on Facebook. And I'm like getting in our little, like, my high school groups. I'm like, "Hey
You were
guys,
like,
come on
yeah,
this."
like guerrilla marketing right there, like tactical hand-to-hand combat stuff.
I was. And it worked. Senior year came and it turned into the 10th largest chapter of FBLA in the nation. I was
Yeah,
15.
are you serious?
I was 15. And that's when I was marketing. I didn't realize it though. I wanted to be an accountant. I went to school to be an accountant. My
Oh, really?
undergraduate.
I did not know that. That's amazing.
Mhm. I went to school to be an accountant, and then at the last minute, senior year came. I was like, I want to do this, and got a degree in psychology, as well. So I ended up going to Auburn and saying I want to pursue a passion where I can help people. And at that time, I believed that that was my way of helping people. I ended up obtaining a degree in rehabilitation counseling. So I specialized in intellectual, developmental, and physical disabilities and disorders. So, your girl smart. But I spent a year as a counselor and I hated it. I did not like going to work because it was really sad, and helping the people I was helping, it was really tough. I was only 23. So imagine counseling people who are homeless, who have different types of disorders and disabilities, and not being able to help them. It was so sad. I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do more, but this isn't like I'm being drained. And I was still hosting events for the Network of Atlanta. I was hosting events and getting people to come to these events, hundreds of people that I did not know, that I would just welcome with wide
Yeah.
arms. And one day, a lady came up to me and said, "Hey, you're really good at this." I'm like, "Thanks." You don't look like my target demographic though. Like, what are you doing here? At the time, we were the millennials of Atlanta, but she'd heard so much that she was like, "Sign me up. Let me come to this event. Let me see what's going on."
Sure.
She said, "Let me hire you." I was like, "What? I'm a counselor. What do you mean hire me?" And at that time, I just finished filming a show, and I was like, you know what? I need a change, and I took it. I just said, okay, if I fail, at least I tried. And I became my first entry level role. Well, my first role as a marketer was actually as a marketing manager. So I kind of skipped a couple of steps there, but I was over Keller Williams. So I was able to work with a ton of different teams, real estate teams who wanted to help. They needed help with social media and marketing and getting their places sold. And that's exactly what I helped them do. After that, I went on to being over social and community at Next Step, which I was a crucial part of the rebrand from the Network of
Mhm.
Executive Women. So again, community, there's a common thread.
I
There's
know. I
there.
know.
And help build out their virtual community, as well as changing the entire brand to what we see now, which is a little bit more lively of an experience. And it has over 20,000 amazing women and allies who are truly advancing all women in business. And then Render popped up again, community. Um, so it all was very, very fast track. I have not had a very typical marketing career. I'm very aware of that because I am oftentimes reminded by myself, I'm like, oh, girl, you've only been in marketing for professionally for a while, even though you were doing it way in advance.
Sure.
Even when I left, I was like, you know what? I need to do something that's going to make me happy and
Yeah.
that I'm going to be passionate about and that I'm going to get excited to leave and come home from work too. Like, my job does not stop when I close my laptops. I get to engage with all the people from Render on Twitter all night long. And I enjoy it. I genuinely love seeing the
Yeah.
hashtags and photos and all the things. And yes, I have a team to help me do that. And someone who's actually completely over Twitter. But my fun time in the evening comes down to getting to engage with the community on Twitter or
Yeah.
X, or on Instagram or LinkedIn, or reading the replies to emails that people don't think comes to a real person. It does. It comes to me. But it allowed me to test run something that I'd been doing for such a long time
Yeah.
and make sure that I'm able to create an impact in all the different areas of my life. So whether it be at a nonprofit or whether it be for Render, or whether it be for the city of Atlanta, it gets to be about community. It is not about me. And I love getting to say that and do that every single day.
So still so many questions. What would be your biggest piece of advice for folks who may be struggling? I mean, I feel like COVID, or not COVID. I feel like the last year with this economy has caused a lot of people to transition, right? I mean, even myself, right? I kind of transitioned out of traditional recruiting into kind of this growth marketing area ish, right? And so, I mean, can you talk about maybe people who are struggling getting into a new career, or are worried about what's on the other side? Any words of advice?
If you're trying to get into marketing,
Just in general, just
in
general
general.
career stuff, just kind of like switching
So,
careers.
oh yeah. So number one, I think the best advice I can tell you well, some of the best advice I can give anybody is number one, listen to people like Taylor.
Oh,
Listen to people like Taylor who tell you to network your butt off. Network your butt off.
it
I've never
really
met a stranger.
is.
Like, I don't meet strangers. I meet temporary or permanent friends. That's how I look at it.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
never a day goes by that I'm not meeting somebody new, whether it be digitally or in person.
Yep.
Typically, that might be digitally because, to Taylor's point, the economy is it's a very different economy than what we were used to, and we don't always have the funds to get out there and like I'm gonna go get dinner. No, you don't need to go to dinner. You can have a coffee chat at home with
Yeah.
someone. You can
Yeah.
DM someone on LinkedIn,
And
say,
they'll
"Hey."
probably respect you a little bit more, I think, because you're being like aware of everybody's situations.
Exactly. So number one, network your hiney off. Meet as many people as possible um, who have the career path that you admire or you're encouraging yourself to follow, or someone who is in a position who can lend you their expertise as to how to even get started in that specific career.
Yeah.
The second thing I can tell you to do is make sure that you're paying attention to resume trends. I want to really put an emphasize on this is because, as we know, a lot has changed since AI has entered the chat, and now we have, at least on the marketing side, I've seen this shift of what resumes used to look like versus what they do look like now. I hate to break it to you because I'm one of those people who loved a really pretty resume, and sometimes if you're specifically working in something like design or marketing, you can get away with a really cool, creative resume or website portfolio. But if you are not doing something that has to do with design or marketing, please make sure you're paying attention to the current trends and best practices of what your resume
Yeah.
looks like.
Yeah.
It will hinder you so badly if you're trying to do something that's so cool and your field just runs it through. It is a very unfortunate thing that we are still navigating what that looks like. Please pay attention to that, though. It really, really matters. And then the third thing I would tell people to do is just try. Apply to a job even if you don't think you're qualified.
Yeah.
Apply. Just do it. Half of the jobs I got was because I was not qualified, and most of them I did not actually originally get. Specifically at the network of executive women, I got a rejection letter, and I stayed in contact with that person. So even if you get rejected, stay in contact with the person who is
Yes.
in the job. Still connect with them. Still talk to them. Still send them LinkedIn's. Whatever you have to do, engage with their stuff. Because a month later, after I got that, 2 months later, after I got that rejection, they said, "Hey, I really, really like you. I'm gonna make this role for you." And I ended up there.
Yep.
I was not.
Absolutely.
I knew I wasn't qualified for the job that I applied for. I wholeheartedly knew, but I was like, "We're gonna try anyway. We're gonna be
Yeah.
a little Lulu. It's okay."
I love that.
And they made a position for me because I showed where my strong points were and what I could help that specific community do with my
Yep.
expertise. And that's like the biggest thing I can tell you is showcase your expertise. It's
Yep.
okay to brag on yourself. It is so okay. It's something that I'm still learning to do because I'm usually behind the screen, so I don't actually get to do it in front of people.
Yeah.
But when you have the opportunity, do it. Talk about what you can do. Talk about how you've done it. Share your information with other people because the more you're sharing, the more people are like, "Oh yeah, Taylor told me exactly how to do this.
Right.
Let me share that information with you." Oh, suddenly I really need to meet Taylor because he knows what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so
100%. Jason here, plus one of that tip networking essential, however you can do it. And then obviously Briana, y'all crushed it last week. And then Joara, such an inspired story. I love how you started so young and found your path by building those communities. Yes, 100%. What else? Anything else, Briana, on your mind as we wrap up? I knew this was going to happen, that's why we started a little bit early. Anything else on your mind that you want to preach, talk about, impart?
I think I really want people to remember community does not equal coins, and you don't have to spend coins to build community.
Ooh, expound on that real quick.
So
That was good.
if you're an individual looking for a community, whether that be professionally or personally, you do not have to spend a lot of money to do that.
Okay.
Let's just be real. Like, things are changing, and if you're not able to find a community for you, make it. Start it. It is free to start a community. Facebook is free for now.
Literally, hold on. Literally today at 3 o'clock, I have scheduled tweet. You ready to see what it says? Ready? I'm gonna read it real quick. Today, I scheduled at 3 o'clock. Remember, you can literally start a meetup networking event that's not work related. And to be honest, I probably recommend that. I think folks are worn out of educational talks, meetups, and just want to hang out and talk. Just create.
Literally, just do it. Just create it, because people need community now more than ever. And that being said, though, if you're a company, you don't have to spend a lot of money to build a community. It starts with saying, hi, everybody. You can literally do what a regular person does. Make a Facebook Live. Go live with your community. Maybe go stream via this amazing StreamYard platform to get to LinkedIn or to get to Twitter or X, whatever that might be. You can literally start building community with a press of a button nowadays.
Yeah.
So there is no excuse for any brand, any influencer, any professional, anyone who wants to change their status quo or their own experiences. Just press the button and start. It does not take a lot of money. And when you have a community of people in your own organization who have brought it up, let them run with it and see how your revenue will grow. See how your team morale will grow. See how your brand awareness will grow. It will grow substantially. And it might not be the right now ROI that you're wanting.
Right.
But I can bet my bottom dollar that the community that you build will continue to be with you a lot longer than any type of advertising dollar that you spent trying to get 100%. One person to convert.
100%. I love it. I love it. All right. Rapid fire here. Kind of a fun few questions for you. And again, for those of you watching, please go connect with Briana. Again, she is a gem of a human being, and very, very knowledgeable when it comes to marketing. She's actually my go-to for a lot of marketing questions. So, all right. First question. If you woke up tomorrow and they're like, hey, you can't do tech or marketing, like you can't do what you do, like you can't do community, you can't do it. What you do, you can't do it. But money was the same or not better, but you had to pick another career, another profession, what would it be?
Honestly, I'd be an event planner.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's yeah, okay. That's fair.
I would be an event planner. Like I love looking at all the like pretty things that all the event planners build on social. I'm like, I want to do that, but
yeah,
time, money.
I love that. Second thing, what do you like to do outside of work for fun? Like what does Briana do outside of work for that's not marketing?
I love to spend time with my partner. He's amazing. And I love to travel. So we are avid travelers. I've been to every continent except for Antarctica. So really trying to get to Antarctica sooner than later, hopefully next year. Also love trying different foods. I think that it just comes back to traveling. And just trying out new products. It's one of the things where I just like to do like for fun and happen to be able to monetize that now. But I love doing those things and just spending time with my friends and family and like random road trips, and going to Bucky. You never know what'll happen.
No, you never know what happens ever. I stopped on one on the way back from Render actually. And it was a madhouse. Third question. This is kind of like when I interview nerds, I always ask like frameworks and stuff. So this is kind of a generalized question for us non-nerds. Any piece of content that you've watched, read, any brands that inspire you right now, just anybody you want to give a shout out to from a creator perspective? Because I always do this in my newsletter. I give a shout out to other creators.
There's too many.
I know.
Oh, no. Oh, that's hard. There's literally like 30. I will say one person who not only is her content pretty cool, but what she's doing for women in business, Megan Ward, she's amazing. She's out of Detroit, founder of Feminology. She's awesome. Akila from Mary Louise Cosmetics. She is based in California. She's amazing, and I love that she's sticking to tradition and showcasing how tradition can withstand the test of time with not only cosmetics, but lifestyle as well. And thanks for the new little box that she just sent over. And let's see, Kayla Walker. She's a really amazing content creator for both people and brands. She's doing a phenomenal job. She also did Render as well. She's really awesome at what she does. Let's see. Gosh, this is hard. Oh my gosh. This is really hard.
No,
Every
that's good. That was
every
good.
human I've ever liked your Instagram post or your tweet, keep it up. And also, really, honestly, Taylor, you.
Stop.
I'm gonna,
Stop.
yeah, you don't get bragged on a lot on here probably, so I'm gonna brag on you. As a marketer, it's very hard to make your own content because you spend your entire day making content for everybody else. And Taylor, you have been such a phenomenal human being, friend, colleague, everything for just encouraging me to post it. Just do it. Just post it. That's always what you say. And like, I actively look forward to seeing your vlogs every single day. When I last night when I turned off the light, I actually went like that. I was like, no one's watching, but that's okay.
Well, thank you.
Literally though, you are an inspiration to content creators everywhere because you are authentic in who you are, both
Appreciate it.
digitally and in real life. Like, I honestly feel like you're better in real life, which is setting the bar pretty high because you're already amazing on digital. Like,
Thank you.
it's wild, but you are just your content. So it really does inspire me to just be a better content creator. And I really appreciate that because you do, like, I told you when I saw you last week, you make me want to post, and I actually am posting now
I know. I'm proud of
because of
you. I'm
you.
proud of you.
Um,
Well, thank
so
you.
yeah, so thank you for the content that you create and put out into the universe and what you're doing to help engineers all over the world. Like, it does not go unnoticed. So we just appreciate you on behalf of everybody in the whole wide world. We appreciate
Thank
you.
you. Yeah, I'm gonna go cry in a corner now. I'm just overwhelmed. So thank you so much. And Jason, thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. All right. So last question as we wrap up here. Oh, I do want to go back something real quick. I'm gonna let's take a side tour before we wrap up. Last question. I want to go back to community real quick. I knew what I was gonna say and I forgot. I feel like people are like, I see Render, I can't be like Render, or I see like I see Taylor, and I can't scale my content like Taylor, or we see all of these brands and people doing it to the nth degree. But like, I just want to tell you, if you want to start community, like it's you plus one other is community. Like, and that's how everything gets started. Like Render was what was the first year? 300 people, 500 people,
300.
300 people first year, right? I wish I was there the first year, but I wasn't. So 300 people first year. Now it's like what, 4,500, I think was the last total, right?
45, it was like 4567. It's like
Yeah,
it was actually like 4567, which really weird
that's
numbers.
great. I love that.
But
I
we're
love
only
that.
gonna put 4500 because it sounds fake.
Yeah,
But it literally was 4567. I was like, huh, that looks
that's
weird.
great.
And then I realized it was just consistent. But yes, it grew. And it started with Justin in a room of people who had an idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So
then
again, yeah, I mean, again, my encouragement to you all, like bigger is not always better, especially for brands too. Like if you're looking to sponsor folks and whatnot, like bigger is not better. I would say in today's world, depth and connection is what really moves the needle. And so I just want to encourage. I want to encourage y'all. If you guys are sitting on the sidelines and you want to start a meetup, you're like, well, the only 3 people are going to show up. That's great. Start there. Just start.
that's enough.
Yeah, that's enough. All
That's
right,
enough.
last question. We had guidance counselors in middle school, high school, and college, but now as adults, we don't have them. That's why the show is called Guidance Counselor 2.0. What would be your biggest piece of career advice to young Briana? Like if you go back in time capsule, you told Briana at Auburn, or maybe high school Briana from the sound of it, what would you say?
Ooh. My guidance counselors are awesome. Number one, like they're literally the
That's
reason
awesome.
I'm physically here. So just awesomeness from I love guidance counselors. My mom's actually a counselor too. So
No way. That's awesome.
But if I had to go back to high school Brianna and tell her one piece of career advice, it would simply be don't worry about profit, worry about passion.
Ooh, man, you're dropping some bars today. Dropping some
Um,
bars.
yeah, because when I was in high school, I was the only little nerd. I took an independent study of accounting because I wanted a career that would ensure my safety and my security financially. And accounting is obviously they're good. But I was not worried about my passion, and my passion was people. Every new student who walked through the doors, I actually worked with the Army of helping further student to student, which is a military program built for students to meet other military students before they come to the schools. And um, every new student who walked through my high school door met me first. I left class every day to go meet a new student and walk them
Mm,
through their day and help them and love on them and help them find their what?
mm,
Their community.
Mm.
And if I would have focused on that passion, I would have saved myself so much money by not going to school.
Yeah.
But also, I
Another
would have been
conversation
able whole nother
of
conversation.
itself.
But I would have been able to really lived in my passion and been able to positively impact even more people than I already have. And while NOA is 20,000 strong, Render is 4,500 strong. And then the community is even larger than that. I don't even, our community is like 50,000. It's wild. I would have been able to positively impact more people if I would have focused more on my passion and less on how much profit I could have created from it.
I love that. I love that. Probably a pretty good message for companies these days too. Shots fired. Anyways, well, Brianna, thank you, my friend. I appreciate you a ton. Stay on so I can say bye to you backstage. But for those of you tuned in, thank you. The chat was off the chain this morning. Had a cool 160 folks watch this at one time, which is pretty cool. So again, appreciate you all. Again, go connect with people in the comments that watched. Go connect with Brianna. Check out RenderATL. And y'all have a great one. And I'm off tomorrow. I'm actually hanging out with my brother in the morning. We're working together at the Switch Yard here in Nashville. So no live tomorrow. So we'll see y'all back next week, as long as Baby Destiny is not here yet. But we will see hopefully y'all next week. Y'all have a good one. Peace.
Bye.